Howdy doody guys! From now on, this is my official way of saying hello to you. Anyway, this is the end of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which was my 5th walkthrough. And this is the after game commentary video that you're watching, in which I talk about new stuff in the game compared to the previous game that was Assassin's Creed 2, and I will also talk about the game's plot. So if you don't have the time to follow my whole walkthrough, then just watch this video and you will understand the whole story. Just pay attention very closely. I have beaten the game under 32 hours, doing all the main quests and side quests as well, completing every single challenge in the game that you can think of, from guild challenges to Uplay challenges, achieved every single achievement, and finished my collection of every possible collectible that you can think of. That is paintings, Borgia flags, feathers, treasure chests, weapons, armors, and outfits. And I even trade all of my assassins to be at rank 10. They are all promoted to the rank of assassin. Plus, I've rebuilt Rome 100% and destroyed every single Borgia tower. So that's just me, but if you want to play this storyline, I mean only the main quests, the main story, then you can probably finish the game under 24 hours. So, to the plot. Let's begin the storytelling. The story of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood picks up right at the ending of the Assassin's Creed 2. Using the Animus 2.0, Desmond Miles attempts to relive one of the later memories of his ancestors, Ezio Auditore, hoping that it will reveal the location of his Apple of Eden, which could allow them to prevent the foretold disaster. However, instead of entering the memory set in 1506, that is 1506, he was forced into a different memory, occurring during the battle in Vienna. From there, as Ezio looked up on the besieged Vienna castle, he recalled the similar event of the siege of Monteregione, subsequently forcing Desmond back further into a memory from 14,099. As Ezio left the vault beneath the Vatican after listening to Minerva's message, he discovered that Rodrigo Borgia was gone, noticing too that the staff had been left behind. He attempted to extract it from where he'd left it, impaled into the floor. However, it descended and it was sealed away. Mario Auditore then called down to him from the entrance, and he and Ezio fought their way out of the Vatican, Ezio unable to decide whether or not to cast the apple into the Tiber River. Tiber, the river that is the river that crosses Rome. So, he gave the apple to Mario for safekeeping. The two then rode back to Monteregione on horseback. However, Ezio soon learned that the Templar threat had diminished little when Cesare Borgia, son of Rodrigo Borgia, laid siege on Monteregione on New Year's Day, that is 1500. Cesare's army of soldiers, towers, and cannons attacked in full force, destroying much of the city and the villa. The attack ended in Monteregione in ruins, Ezio wounded badly by arquebusers, and Mario killed by Cesare himself. Cesare, whatever. Though Ezio attempted to follow his uncle's murderer on horseback, he passed out on the road to Rome from his injuries. At that point, Desmond woke up from the Animus, stationed in the back of the assassin's van. They have been arriving at the Villa Auditore in the modern Monteregione, their last safe house in Italy. Lucy Stillman explained that they need to recover Ezio's Apple of Eden as she suspected that Minerva had altered it somehow when she had touched it in the vault. Desmond, Lucy, Sean, and Rebecca then headed for the villa, seeking the safety of the underground sanctuary, which would keep them hidden from Abstergo cell towers. However, the door was locked. Desmond and Lucy left to discover another way in. After making their way through the secret passage that Ezio and the citizens had used to flee the Borgia attackers, they opened the way for Sean and Rebecca. Inside the sanctuary, Desmond saw an aged Ezio due to the bleeding effect, and deduced that he must have returned into the villa many years after the attack, though for an unknown purpose. He also found a symbol that Ezio had drawn on the wall, and using eagle vision, saw a series of numbers hidden underneath. The four of them then set up the Animus 2.0, and Desmond returned to Ezio's memories, with Lucy believing that improving his synchronization with Ezio would allow Desmond to access the memory, revealing the location of the apple. Ezio regained consciousness in a small house in Rome, where the woman who had been tending to him as told, a man had brought him there, and had supplied him with new armor and clothing. After leaving the house and receiving medicine from a doctor, Ezio left to meet with Niccolo Machiavelli. Throughout Machiavelli, he discovered that Rome was in despair, and that the citizens were being oppressed by the Borgia. Later, he would also stumble across the followers of Romulus, and explored one of their lairs, Nero's Golden Palace. Nero's Golden Palace, yeah. Whoa, that was a hard one. Basing himself on the Tibere Island in the center of the city, Ezio began his mission to rid the city of influence of Cesare and his generals. In order to do so, Ezio re-established relationship between his assassin guild and the other guilds in the city, namely that of the courtesans, led by Madonna Solari and later Claudia Auditore, the thieves, led by La Volpe, and the mercenaries, led by Bartolomeo d'Alviano. Ezio then began to rebuild the Brotherhood by recruiting apprentices, who were made up of both distressed citizens who wished to liberate their city, and young novice assassins such as Francesco Vecchillo, fucking Italian, whatever. After the recruits had completed their training, he placed them in teams and sent them on missions across Europe. Ezio then began to break down the Borgia influence in Rome by destroying several Borgia towers and their captains. He also sabotaged Caesare's forces by striking at their arsenal, their military founding, and their support from the French forces. In order to do so, he destroyed the war machines of Leonardo da Vinci and assassinated two of Cesare's key generals, his banker Joan Borgia and the French general Octavian de Valois. Afterwards, he was informed that Pietro Rossi, an actor, and Lucrezia Borgia's plaything possessed a key to the Castel Sant'Angelo. Knowing that, he would need it in order to assassinate Cesare and Rodrigo successfully. Ezio tailed after Micheletto Corella, Cesare's personal assassin, who had been sent to kill Pietro. After Ezio had rescued him both from being stabbed with a spear during his play and from the ailment of the poison, Pietro handed the assassin the key to Castello Sant'Angelo. Upon the completing of these tasks, Ezio included Maria Claudia into the assassin order and was also elected by Machiavelli to be the new mentor of the Italian assassins. He was called the Il Mentore. Soon afterwards, Ezio infiltrated the castle, where he witnessed the murder of Rodrigo Borgia by his son Cesare. Cesare forced the location of the Apple of Eden from Lucrezia and hurried to retrieve it from the Basilica di San Pietro. However, Ezio successfully reached the apple before Cesare and subsequently used it to demilitarize the remnants of Cesare's army. In one last battle, Ezio and his fellow assassins fought Cesare and his surviving men at the gates of Rome. Cesare was arrested by Fabio Orsini by the order of the new pope, though not before commenting that he would not be in chains for long and that he would never die by the hand of a man. Sometime later, Ezio, troubled by Cesare's comment, discussed them with Leonardo, who suggested using the apple to find out what he said was true. Ezio was hesitant but decided to take his advice, and discovered that Cesare would indeed free himself from prison. Ezio declared that he needed to leave at once. Reassuring Leonardo's concern for the Assassin's Guild, he was leaving behind by saying, "I built this brotherhood to last, with or without me." So now we are in 1507, and Ezio finally tracked Cesare down at the siege of Vienna, Spain. Ezio fought through the infantry and finally managed to corner Cesare on the castle's wall. There, in climatic battle, Ezio managed to destroy Cesare's armor and ultimately defeating him. Though Cesare insisted that he would not die by the hands of a man, Ezio then left him in the hands of fate and threw him from the battlements to his death. Afterwards, Ezio took the Apple of Eden into a vault under the Santa Maria a Rocelli, with the Temple of Juno. Desmond emerged from the Animus shortly after retrieving this memory, listening to their teammates deducing a way getting into the vault. Just as Rebecca mentioned that they need a spoken password to enter it, back out occurred, cutting them off from using the Animus to find out. However, Desmond realized that the symbol he had seen on the door of the vault was the same one he had seen drawn on the villa wall. Sean discovered that the sequences of numbers hidden behind the symbols referred to 72 names of God, setting the password to be 72. The assassins then drove to the Colosseo in Rome, and Desmond separated from the others to find a way into the vault. As he traveled on the underground pass gateway, he encountered another of those who came before, Juno, who spoke at length of downfall of humankind. Arriving inside the Santa Maria a Rocelli, Desmond unlocked the door for his teammates and shortly afterwards witnessed a memory of Ezio free-running through the church. He followed him and activated a system of bars and levers, finally causing a small pedestal to emerge from the floor. Placing his hand on it, Desmond activated the floor, lowering the four of them down on the floor to the vault. Desmond spoke the password, and the door opened to reveal a large empty chamber with a tall platform raised in the middle, upon which the apple awaited. Desmond activated the staircase up to it by jumping across a series of pillars, while Juno's voice echoed through the cavern as she spoke cryptically of humans, the pieces of Eden, and the sixth sense. However, Desmond was apparently the only one who could hear her. Once the assassins headed to the platform, Desmond touched the apple, and a series of holographic symbols appeared. Sean mentioned that two of the most distinct ones, the Phrygian cap and the Manasonic eye, only come together in one place. Yeah. Phrygian cap, whatever the fuck. However, when Desmond picked up the apple, time seemed to stop and he found himself controlled by Juno. Though he struggled, she forced him to draw his hidden blade and stab Lucy in the abdomen. The two then fell to the ground unconscious, with blood pooling around Lucy. Later, William Miles and Harlan T. Cunningham could be heard speaking, saying that Desmond had gone into shock. William, that is Desmond's father, ordered Harlan to put Desmond back into the Animus, despite Harlan's protest of how badly the Animus had affected Desmond already. Desmond had entered a coma, though William claimed that Desmond would live through it. And that's how the game ends. Here comes the new things about gameplay and graphics quality. The graphics are a little bit enhanced and the animations are a little more fluent, but the game is built on the same engine, so there's not much to say about that. Yeah, oh yeah, meanwhile, what you're watching is a few skills that Ezio has to show us while in combat. Pretty fancy if you ask me. Now, about that gameplay. The Brotherhood retains the gameplay from its predecessor, the Assassin's Creed 2, with many significant new additions. Combat with the knife, sword and maces is now dual-wielded, paired with throwing knives and hidden gun respectively. This allows Ezio to seamlessly utilize the ranged weapons in middle combat. In addition, a new kill streak feature allows Ezio to continuously move to enemy and performing multiple takedowns and executions using melee weapons. Utilizing dual-wielded weapons also allows Ezio to perform dual executions that work in conjunction to the killing streak feature. Ezio can now carry heavy weapons after upgrading his sheath, and is able to hurl them towards the enemies to perform an insta-kill, which can also be done with spears and halberds that Ezio picks up. So you can basically throw spears, halberds, and heavy weapons into enemies from a long distance that will result in an insta-kill. Ezio picks up. The crossbow has also been added to Ezio's arsenal, allowing him silent ranged takedowns. In addition, the poison darts have also been introduced as an extension to the poison blade, which can be gained through upgrades from Leonardo da Vinci himself, along with the second hidden blade and climbing leap glove. Also, every utility in Ezio's weapon wheel can now be manually assigned to one of the 4 access buttons, instead of being given default setup. So you can basically change the 1, 2, 3, 4 hotkeys in whatever you want them. Horse mechanics has also been upgraded. Ezio can now take a horse throughout city districts rather than just in the countryside, and can call for his horse at any given time while free roaming. Combat on horseback now allows Ezio to utilize some of his ranged weapons, namely the hidden gun and the crossbow. Ezio can now also perform assassinations while on horseback, as well as assassinate enemies that are mounted or on horse, in addition to being able to hijack them while on foot. Replacing the fast travel boots are the tunnels, which Ezio can access to go fixed points in Rome. The renovation system, limited only to Monteriggioni before in the second game, has now been updated to encompass all of Rome. Select areas of Rome are kept under the watch by the Borgia with their towers, and in order to begin the renovations, Ezio must eliminate the tower's captain and then destroy the tower itself. Stores and stalls such as doctors, blacksmiths, art merchants, tailors, and banks have to be renovated by Ezio in order to fully restore Rome. Other buildings include horse stables and buildings for mercenaries, thieves, and courtesans to occupy, as well as various landmarks such as the Pantheon and the Colosseum and stuff like that. Sometime later, Ezio is able to recruit apprentices into his cause. Several civilians being harassed by the Borgia can be rescued by Ezio and will pledge their allegiance to him once saved. While in Rome, Ezio can command several apprentices into incapitate guards on his command, and can also forth an arrow storm once he had recruited enough apprentices. Ezio can also send apprentices to other countries in Europe and Asia to take on contracts, where they gain additional experience as well as money and trade objects for Ezio. We're gonna talk about those trade objects later in this video. Apprentices gain experience while under Ezio, gaining better equipment as they go along, until they can be fully initiated into the Order, where they gain superior equipment, armor, and become fully pledged to the Assassins. Apprentices also occasionally take part in Ezio's missions, such as assassinating major targets and acting as his backup. Many side activities are available all throughout Rome. Replacing the assassin tombs are the layers of the Romulus, where the followers of Romulus keep the keys necessary to unlock the armor and dagger of Marcus Junius Brutus, as well as his documents. Ezio has also been given special missions by Leonardo da Vinci, where he must destroy his war machines, weapons of warfare located in undisclosed states, before the Borgia could utilize them. In addition to assassination contracts, Ezio now has a special assignment for both the thieves and the courtesans. After renovating a significant portion of Rome, several repressed memories of Ezio's past lover, Cristina Vespucci, can also be relieved. Feathers return as collectibles as well as Borgia flags. In the modern day, Desmond is given more leeway in his activities, as he can exit the Animus at any time outside of these missions. When outside of the Animus, Desmond can interact with the team and certain objects in their hideout, as well as log in into their email accounts. Desmond can exit the sanctuary in order to explore present-day Monteregione for a set amount of time, for example 10 minutes in this case, while there are no civilians present and there are little to no objects for Desmond to interact with. Desmond can collect a total of 5 artifacts found in Monteregione, all of which belonged to Ezio and his company while there. For example, Ezio's De Medici cape, Mario's sword, Ezio's belt, stuff like that. Once the timer has run out, Desmond will simply return to the hideout and can leave again sometime afterwards. After completing every single side quest given by Leonardo da Vinci, he gives you his latest toy, called the parachutes. And yes guys, they work very similarly to ones we use today. You can jump off from high vantage points, like towers and such, or you can just glide from one rooftop to another rooftop, to a lower one, of course, without hitting yourself or getting any damage. When in combat, the game now indicates when a guard is about to hit you, so you can execute them, or just with your killing streak, or just counter him, or just dodge him. Because there are guards that, if you counter, they will hit you back, so you basically can't counter them. And you can also counter guards with the crossbow mentioned before. And there is another use full-featured in the combating system, which is kicking opponents in the nuts. This apparently breaks their guard, and then you can strike them down. So if a guard keeps a very good guard, I mean, their defense is good, and you can't counter them, you have to kick them in the balls in order to kill them. Wow. Also, there is a new class of guards. Those are the papal guards, which have guns and can counter you. Yeah, very hard to kill, guys. Take care. For each guild, now you have guild challenges for thieves, courtesans, and mercenaries as well, which you can complete while free roaming the city. After completing all those challenges, you will get a weapon from each guild leader that you can add to your collection at the hideout in Insula Tiberina. For economy, you have shop quests that you can be completed by collecting a lot of trade objects. Now, about those trade objects. Those trade objects can be goods, potatoes, and spices, stuff like that. Whatever you can think of. You can get them, you can find trade objects from treasure chests, looting dead guards, or investing in shops around the city. If you invest in a shop, then you get more money in the next 20 minutes and you get some trade objects. And if you complete the shop quests, you can get remarkable rewards, like the best armor from the game, fast poison, treasure mops, prestige heavy weapons, or a large knife belt, which you won't use at all. So, back to the best things and gear in the game. That is the Romulus armor and the dagger of Brutus, sorry. In swords is the sword of Altair, which was the best sword in the Assassin's Creed 2 as well. And yeah, that's all. Small weapons, large weapons, and armors. Yeah, but anyway, it's worth to do shopping quests. It's really worth it. Subject 16 did not stop giving Desmond signs, and we have the glyph symbols and puzzles as well as in the previous game. And at the end of this is a truth video, as always. I will leave a link in the description where you can find where you can watch a video about the truth. Back to the horses. Yeah, horses. While riding them, you can jump off from their back, catching a beam without losing any speed, and from there on, you can continue climbing or free running or whatever. There are also multiple types of horses. There are the casual horses. There are the caravan horses, which carry some bags and some blankets on their back. Those are the fastest one, guys. And there are the armored horses, which are very slow and not so useful. So we talked about the game has a lot of side quests. The rewards for most of them are outfits or other collectibles. The game has a lot of expansions. It has a multiplayer version which is introduced to us for the first time. And let me tell you guys, I just love the multiplayer. There's a virtual training which allows you to compete with your friends from Uplay or just exercise your climbing, fighting and assassination skills. Enjoy it. There's also tons of achievements to achieve, of course, if you are bored. For example, throwing money in a well, or just killing a guard with a broom, etc. Stuff like that. Oh yeah, and at the end, let me mention, Rome is the biggest map yet built by Ubisoft for the Assassin's Creed games. The biggest map yet. My conclusion, good job Ubisoft. Not just on the map, but on the whole game was very exciting. Even the biggest single-player expansion was great, which was the Da Vinci Disappearance. Hope you liked it, guys, as well as I did. And as much as I did, I really love the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood game, even though I played it for the 4th time, I guess. 4th or 5th, whatever. There are some real powerful moments in this story. And as I play along Ezio's story, I start liking his character more and more. He's getting wiser, smarter, and more skillful than ever. I definitely recommend playing this game. Even if you finished it once, it deserves a second playthrough, just as I did. I played it, yeah, as I said before, for the fourth time. I strongly recommend it. Have fun. Oh yeah, that's it about the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So, until this point, it was the after game commentary video. Now, for my YouTube history, I have decided to make a big change in my YouTube video making process. I have received some feedback that I should make the walkthroughs in Hungarian, because there are lots of walkthroughs already in English for older games like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 1, Mass Effect 1, and stuff like that. And I will play these old games anyway, if not for the sake of creating walkthroughs and uploading them to YouTube, then for me, just to play them once more, because I love gaming, that's the truth. As I have told you before, I play games for their storytelling and maybe amazing graphics, if they had so. If not, just for the storytelling and their amazing environment. So I said, okay, let's try that, in Hungarian. But after some thinking, I thought, I will let you guys decide my YouTube fate. Unfortunately, I cannot play newer games like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 3 or Unity and stuff like that. No matter how hard I try and no matter how hard I would love to play those games, those new games, Mad Max, Fallout 4, the games that just came out, they're amazing, man. I just wish I could play them and record them as well, but I can't, because my laptop is not strong enough to run the games and record it as well. You can already see some lags in the present walkthrough in this Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where sometimes the character just stops and starts going in a second, but it lags or stuff like that. And on top of that, I have a bad microphone as well. Yeah, I bet you can hear that until now. Anyhow, I have concluded some options for you guys to vote on. So, you just simply write in the comment, down in the comment section, add an @ sign, option 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I will leave an example for voting in the description down below. And I will give you the options. So, option 1 is doing Hungarian walkthroughs for older games. Option 2, doing a movie version for older games that I play. Option 3, English after game commentary video and some gameplay. Option 4, Hungarian after game commentary video and some gameplay. And option 5, continue doing walkthroughs in English, just like I did until now. So this is going to be a big change for me, so please vote, guys. Feel free to vote, please. You're helping me this time. So, yeah. I mean, you're always helping me, but come on, just vote. Please vote. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. You can also vote for the next game that I will play, with the same methods as before. So you write @game1 or @game2 or whatever. Here are the options. Game 1 is The Witcher. Game 2, Mass Effect. Game 3, Need for Speed The Run. Game 4, Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth 2. Game 5, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Game 6, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. Game 7, Diablo 3. Game 8, The Walking Dead, a Telltale game series. And I can also try Game 9, Assassin's Creed Revelations. Or just suggest a game yourself. Write @game10 and after that you can write the name of the game. And please, if you want to see me play any side quests for the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, just write @sidequests in the comment and I will make a video with the side quests that you asked for. Thanks a lot, guys. This vote thing, it's maybe a small thing for you, but it means a lot to me. So please feel free to vote. No, don't feel free. Please vote. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. If you did, please like it, share it, and subscribe for more. Hoodie doody, I'm out. See you in the next game. Whichever is going to be. The next game that I will play is going to be the one that you vote for. So please just scroll down in the comment section down below and vote. It means a lot for me. Thanks. Hoodie doody.